Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts Guys. Today, we're taking a look at another brand new, kind of like free agent card, similar to the card yesterday, except we're kind of seeing a little pattern here, which I think is kind of cool. So, yesterday we saw like the new Dark Machine card. Really the main archetype you kind of could see it having synergy with was Orcust. Now today we have a new Dragon Fusion, and I think we'll see that this one has the best synergy with Dragonmaid, which kind of brings me to believe that we'll get something that like low-key kind of works with Punk tomorrow. Right, we saw Konami do this post crossover breakers in Supreme Darkness. We got like the template skipper, which does see play in certain builds of Malice. We saw Twins of Eclipse, definitely sees play in Ryziel, and even the other card, the Sea Serpent guy, I don't remember his name, but he's not like, I mean, like, Rigi is not even playable yet, and even if it does, I'm not even sure that card will see play in the deck. But regardless, like, they made 3 cards for those decks. Some of them hit, some of them didn't. And we have this one, so I expect a Punk one tomorrow. But as for this one here, I'm sure some people will love this design. She's cool looking. I like that she has, like, kind of like the Sylveon colors. She basically reminds me of, like, a lady form of Sylveon, which is cool. She even has, like, a little bit of blue in her colors here, but she looks cool enough without being, you know, too cute girly. Whatever. This is Forbidden Princess of the Fairy Dragons. Very cool. Level 8 Dragon, Dark Dragon Fusion monster. 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense. So just like the straight up blue eye stats, which is cool. Materials, any Dragon Fusion plus 1 level 7 or higher monster. Interesting materials here. I do feel like the materials could have been maybe a little more on point for Dragonmaid to make use of, because the one thing I was thinking of is like this card could potentially allow Dark End Evaporation Dragon to actually be like a legit really good card for the deck again. Because we were looking at the card, then when we saw what the new support was, we were like, okay, the card's still like not terrible, but what's its real purpose doing? Because you contact fuse into ladies, and ladies gets you into your fusions, so you just didn't need an extra fusioning monster. But having a boss like this that adds extra value to a card like that could actually be kind of interesting. So that card is interesting because he can be the level 7, but you do have to fuse away a Dragon Fusion monster with him to kind of make that possible. So that's kind of the trouble, is like you have to already put a Dragon Fusion out there. And normally you make use of those. You summon ladies, you don't want to fuse it off yet because you want to use ladies to summon Shao on the opponent's next turn, and maybe on a follow-up turn when like Shao, you know what I mean, negates something and summons out House, you're like, I think this card's more valuable than House right now, so you can fuse away House with Dark End and get there. But again, you're talking about like 3 turns in, and maybe we're just in a position where we're killing them anyway if we had already resolved all of our stuff. So again, it's a cool card. It definitely has synergy with there, but the materials are a little bit not ideal, just because you have to already get a fusion out to do it. Unless there's a way we can start fusing from Grave, that's where this card becomes a little more interesting. But yeah. Alright, next up you have the first and second effect. You can only use those once per turn. First effect, during the main phase, a quick effect. You can target 1 card your opponent controls or in their graveyard, banish it. Then if you banished a card from the field, return 1 dragon monster you control to the hand. Not terrible. Second effect, at the start of your opponent's battle phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can return 1 dragon monster you control to the hand or extra deck, and if you do, special summon this card. It very much reads like a Dragonmaid card, right? Like it is a quick effect banish, then bounce a Dragonmaid, and then engrave at the beginning of opponent's battle phase. You bounce a dragon to summon it back. So like it very much has the vibes of a Dragonmaid monster, but again, it's just a little bit off. I'm not sure how well it legitimately blends into the deck. I think there's like, is there the one fusion card, Dragon's Mirror or whatever, that fuses from Grave? Like maybe that's efficient enough where like as long as you put a Dragon Fusion in Grave, like this card is going to be pretty nasty. To just summon out basically 1 card summons this out. Like that's kind of cool. I'm just not totally sure how easy that is, or if we're even doing that turn 1, because Dragonmaid, again, still is like a pretty slow deck. So it's interesting. It's possible it makes it into certain lists as like a one of. It's also possible it doesn't even end up being Dragon Maid specific. I mean, it is very generic. Any Dragon Fusion plus a level 7 or higher monster, that could even be branded. I think branded could probably make this pretty easily, so that's another one that I think can kind of come into play here. Now, is it stronger than just making, like, what's his name? Mirror Jade? Like, no, this just straight up is not stronger than Mirror Jade, but it is kind of like something to keep in mind, like as an additional piece potentially for them too. So there you go. Very cool. Like, I think the card is cool. I'm not sure its home is like perfectly suited just yet for it, but if you guys have any ideas of like other decks or what makes this card maybe better than I'm giving it credit for right now, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear. I'd love to be proven wrong, and you guys to be like, no, this is actually amazing, and this is why. I'd love to hear that if I'm just not seeing it out the gate right here, because I do think in a vacuum it reads like a pretty good like boss monster. So yeah, pretty cool. All right, but I'm not here for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, let me know your thoughts down below on this card, and I'll probably see you tomorrow with some kind of random punk support card, right? Yeah, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. Peace.